The future of the Gaza Strip, devastated by 2 years of conflict, is being framed by chaotic and rapidly evolving international proposals centered on physical division and externally controlled stabilization. United States military planning documents and diplomatic sources reveal a significant proposal to split Gaza into distinct zones, a reconstruction-focused green zone under Israeli and international military authority, and a war-ravaged red zone left largely in ruins. This vision cast serious doubt on the previously articulated commitment to a durable political settlement leading to unified Palestinian self-rule, raising the spectre of an enduring low-intensity conflict and fractured territory.
Tonight, everywhere you look, the destruction in Gaza is overwhelming. This is the Shujaiya neighborhood in ruins. The devastation can be seen from space. This was that neighborhood before October 7th, this after 2 years of war. Israeli forces withdrew as part of the ceasefire. In the distance, that's Hamas-controlled territory. The IDF says Hamas is still firing on Israeli troops. You can see the shell casings from the IDF firing back.
From here, we've seen Hamas violate the agreement almost on a daily basis. In some days, more than on a daily basis.
Both sides accuse each other of violating the peace deal, which is still holding.
The core of the US concept involves an initial deployment of foreign forces alongside Israeli soldiers in eastern Gaza, creating a permanent division defined by the current Israeli-controlled Yellow Line. This separation would create two distinct realities. The Green Zone is designated as the starting point for reconstruction efforts, hopefully to eventually attract Gazan civilians and facilitate reunification. In contrast, the majority of the population, over 2 million people, are currently crowded into the Red Zone along the coast, where humanitarian needs are acute and the devastation is most profound. The entire concept risks comparisons to disastrous US military strategies in Iraq and Afghanistan, where green zones became isolated, fortified enclaves synonymous with failure to secure the wider territory. Underpinning this stabilization effort is the proposed formation of an International Stabilization Force, a key component of Donald Trump's 20-point peace plan. The US aims to secure a UN Security Council resolution to formally mandate this force. However, securing troop commitments has proved challenging, and the initial proposals seen in US CENTCOM documents were quickly deemed delusional by diplomatic sources. These plans envisioned a core deployment of European troops, including up to 1,500 British and 1,000 French soldiers for security, logistics and road clearance. Yet European reluctance to risk soldiers' lives after long, costly missions in Iraq and Afghanistan, combined with a lack of political will, has left the US looking for contributions from a broadly defined group of NATO and partners, spanning Europe, Asia and the Middle East. Crucially, the US plan specifies that the ISF would operate exclusively within the Green Zone, starting small and slowly expanding toward a full strength of 20,000 personnel. They would not operate in the Western Red Zone, where Hamas is reportedly reasserting control, and initial plans suggest foreign soldiers would integrate with Israeli forces to man crossings along the control line, a mission that deeply alarms potential troop-contributing nations. These countries fear becoming targets in potential crossfire and being perceived as collaborators in an ongoing Israeli occupation. The US strategy for reunification hinges on using Reconstruction as a magnet. Planners hope that by creating conditions for civilians to thrive in the Green Zone, residents from the Red Zone will eventually choose to relocate, leading to a natural, non-military enforced shift towards stabilization. However, the path to reconstruction is arduous. Over 80% of Gaza's structures, including nearly all schools and hospitals, are damaged or destroyed, and Israel continues to limit aid shipments, including necessary materials like tent poles, which are classified as dual use. While the long-term internal security solution for Gaza is described in Trump's plan as a new Palestinian police force, Current US planners have assigned it only a limited initial role of a few hundred recruits, with limited international troop commitments, an unclear path for Israeli withdrawal, and a lack of funding, as the US has stated its intention to set the vision and not pay for it. Gaza risks slipping into a prolonged state of limbo. This precarious state, described by mediators as not war but not peace, is categorized by an entrenched occupation, limited reconstruction, and an absence of Palestinian self-rule, solidifying the long-term division rather than paving the way for a unified future, let alone a two-state solution. Meanwhile, in Turkey, the Istanbul Chief Prosecutor's Office has announced the issuance of arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other senior officials, alleging genocide and crimes against humanity systematically perpetrated in Gaza. Among the 37 listed suspects are prominent figures including Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz, National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, and Army Chief Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir. The indictment also referenced the bombing of the Turkish-built Turkish-Palestinian Friendship Hospital in the Gaza Strip by Israel in March. Israel immediately condemned the move as a PR stunt. Foreign Minister Gideon Saar stated on social media that Israel firmly and contemptuously rejects this latest action by the Turkish President Erdogan. This development follows Turkey's decision last year to formally join South Africa's ongoing case against Israel at the International Court of Justice, which also alleges genocide. Donald Trump's alleged ceasefire in Gaza brought initial relief but is quickly overshadowed by deep trepidation and a deteriorating situation 1 month later. While hostages and detainees have been exchanged, sporadic Israeli strikes, reportedly in response to Hamas attacks, have killed over 200 Palestinians, including children. Thousands more bodies are still trapped under the ruins, with debris clearance estimated to take 7 years. Aid flow is inadequate, hampered by Israeli registration obstacles, and demolitions continue in the Israeli-held half of Gaza. The education system is collapsing, with over 90% of school buildings destroyed, leaving new babies literally born in the rubble without proper homes or hospitals. Donald Trump is keen to maintain the ceasefire and advance normalization between Israel and Arab states, but this requires substantive steps toward a better future for Palestinians. The ongoing crisis, initially fueled by global outrage against the war, risks fading from the international agenda. Sustained public pressure is essential to keep the US engaged, hold Israel accountable to the ceasefire, and secure not just immediate aid, but a pathway to justice and lasting peace for everyone, including the Palestinian people. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.